let's focus first on the tech side of all of this, because it's déjà vu. We saw half the amount promised, and they are said to have been delivered by Masa back in 2016.
This is an echo of what we saw 8 years ago, almost to the day when Masayoshi Son made this promise at Trump Tower of a $50 billion investment with 50,000 jobs. And as Peter, our colleague, discussed earlier in the program, he largely made good on that. Trump is putting him on the spot today a little bit, already inking this $100 billion promise, 100,000 jobs, and trying to get him to double even that. And we heard Peter talk about how Masayoshi Son may not have all that much in the tank to be able to pull it off. But at the same time, we heard Son talk about how he has such confidence in the incoming administration that maybe this will be a way to help him gain some of those investments and gain that capital he needs.
And the support of the next administration, the support of Donald Trump as president, shouldn't come as a surprise, Mike.
No, not at all. And what was interesting also is how the president, after Son left the stage, he talked about his commitment to trying to, revive and reinvigorate the economy from the business perspective, not only by cutting corporate tax rates, but by trying to cut red tape. And just last week, we heard him make the pledge that he reiterated today that anyone investing $1 billion or more in the U.S. would get speedier permit review. And that has been an issue that we've heard energy companies and even tech companies bring up. The tech companies that are getting into AI have such energy demands that they need for their data centers. And without that kind of support to speed those projects, they see their AI ambitions at risk of being slowed.
We can indeed see on Truth Social where President-elect Trump had discuss the $1 billion or more that can be allocated to the United States and therefore getting that expedited approval and permitting. Mike, it is seemingly all about AI, all about energy when it comes to Masa's investment. Last time, it seemed to be a whole host of people talking to the hundreds of companies that Softbank put money into it via the Vision Fund and indeed by Softbank directly. We already see this money being allocated to OpenAI, for example. Are we expecting a mixture of startups and publicly traded companies? Is there anything discerning as to the direction of travel of which companies are going to be backed?
You know, it's really tough to say right now exactly how this money would be applied. If it refers back to already planned investments by Softbank in other ventures and vehicles, we just don't have those details. And in a way, just like Trump's Truth Social post on cutting red tape and regulation, we really don't know exactly how he intends to do that either. So we're going to have to see how this unfolds, and there will be more to come from Masayoshi Son, how much of this money gets deployed into the U.S., how quickly, and toward whom. And I think there are a lot of startups, including people who have ties into the administration, who will be very interested in that kind of a partnership.